peptides, they're small chains of amino acids. So they're actually naturally occurring in our bodies. That's the coolest thing about peptides, is they're opening up different communication pathways in the body. It's a very natural approach to helping optimize different pathways. And so you can open up, say, growth hormone pathways.
This is Biz Ninja Entrepreneur Radio with your host, Tyler Jorgensen.
What's your take on stem cells? We're going to find out some really cool stuff. Welcome out to Biz Ninja Entrepreneur Radio. I'm your host, Tyler Jorgensen. And today we have Cade Archibald from Ageless Future. And I'm really excited because we're going to talk about health. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. And we're just going to break it all down. Cade, it's good to have you out here.
Awesome. Excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, man. All right. So, a lot of people that we have on the show are founders, and we have a ton of entrepreneurs, and we have guys who are building empires with their brother. And I'm really excited to have you out here. When was that moment in your life where you first realized you were an entrepreneur?
The first moment was probably, at like 5 or 6. I had this little, a little plastic case that I could put rocks in and stickers. And I would go around to all my neighbors and try to sell stickers and rocks. I did okay. And then there was a couple years later that I built some dirt bike jumps in my backyard, and I would make the neighbors pay to come ride on it.
I wonder if
I'm a little more charitable now, though.
Yeah. Well, once you make money, then it's easier to let people play with your toys.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the meantime, you got to make money for the toys. So
yeah,
I get it. I love it. I love that your version of the lemonade stand is rocks, stickers, and jumps. So epic stuff, man.
My lemonade, it was never good. So I sold one and then no one came back.
Yeah. And, but I love it. It's just, it's about, I think so many people, you just start kind of hustling, coming up with creative ways to make money early on. It just was part of who you were. And that sounds like that was you. What was your first quote unquote real business?
So real business, so it definitely, my window washing was actually probably the most legit when I was, 16. I would go around, I'd bid jobs, and I put together some pretty good stuff. And that was the best job. Like summer, when you're in between high school years, I'd go wash a few windows or a few houses and then go hit the lake. And it was great. That was
make enough money to enjoy the lake, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows that the natural path from window washing is peptides and stem cells.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did you end up working with your brother and creating, Ageless Future? Yeah.
So Reagan founded, originally was East West Health, and that was in 2004. And so I'm quite a bit younger than him. I was kind of on my own career path. I was running a call center, sales and operations, about 200 plus people there. And I was just burned out, brain fog. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now. And I actually reached out to my brother and was like, hey, I need some help. I feel just really sick. And it was amazing. Over 90 days, lost 30 pounds, got my brain back online. I got just really inspired because, I went through some college years. I did a lot of entrepreneurial endeavors during college years, but I just kind of went the traditional corporate, I'm going to get a job and kind of slug this out. And then, I just got really burned out. And so worked with Reagan. Over 9 months, I lost a total of right under 60 pounds. And I was just charged up. I loved how you could look at labs or physiology and really make some huge impacts with peptides and herbs. He's a herbalist, and like it was amazing how I was able to just impact my physiology as well as my body composition. Obviously, improved significantly, and I felt really inspired. So I did a little bit of health coach certification, things from that, and then it was probably 2 years later, after kind of my big transformation, I was still at the same company, and I was on a phone call with Reagan, my brother, and it was like we just came up with the thought of, hey, let's open up a clinic in St. George. I live in southern Utah, and he's in Salt Lake area, and I was like, let's do that. And so that was the real start of like the whole in and of itself East West Health and Ageless Future.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I love the ideology behind East-West health, right? It's like the blending the best of both Eastern and Western medicine. And what is one of the biggest misconceptions that most of the Western world has with health right now?
There's a lot. So the biggest misconception would probably be that your health insurance is going to keep you healthy. I would argue that's a pretty big scam. If you're a card-carrying member of health insurance, that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything on the health side. It's amazing on the catastrophic side if you have big accidents, something like that. But from a health, just overall health and longevity perspective, there's nothing that you can really even buy that will give you that, other than like what you put into it. Like you yourself are in charge of your health. Doesn't matter what the government's going to say. Doesn't matter what they're going to do. Like you got to take action and take charge of your health yourself.
So let's break down what you guys are doing with Ageless Health or Ageless Future, and what you offer, kind of your take on health and what you're doing in the marketplace. And then I want to get into more of the business of what's going on. But first, just help us understand what you guys do.
Yeah, so we're really genius and experts at is taking diagnostics. So we run really comprehensive. We'll do blood labs, stool analysis, a lot of deep dive diagnostics, and then we customize that and personalize that for the individual, and create a peptide stack, the supplement stack, and we add in health integrators, which are similar to health coaches. And then we have medical providers that are working with individuals, just helping them elevate their health, their longevity, and their performance.
Gotcha. So I've owned gyms, I've owned multiple supplement brands, but peptide seems to be a new thing that I hear all the time now. So for the unindoctrinated, what are peptides, and why should people be paying attention to them?
Yeah, great question. So peptides, they're small chains of amino acids. So they're actually naturally occurring in our bodies, and that's the probably coolest thing about peptides is they're opening up different communication pathways in the body. It's a very natural approach to helping optimize different pathways. And so you can open up, say, a growth hormone pathway. So there's growth hormone releasing peptides. There's other immune enhancing peptides, and there's hundreds of different options.
Yeah.
Most people just know about like the GLP ones, like Ozempic, Mounjaro, your semaglutide, tirzepatide, and those are game changers on the weight loss side. But a lot of times they get probably dosed a little bit, not ideally, where we're more dependent on the peptide as opposed to kind of just optimizing the body fully, so you build muscle.
Yeah, and so you're integrating the support, right, with having actual coaching and having other things. So lifestyles are changing, and the person is changing, not just like medicating their way out of a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes a ton of sense. So I mean, I was really familiar, when I had my supplement businesses, with branch chain amino acids, and so with peptides and small chain amino acids, this is kind of a new take, or at least a growing trend right now in what's happening, what are some of the cool things? I mean, I know you guys probably have tons of case studies. You got your own personal journey here and success story, but what are some of the big trends or consistent wins you guys are seeing when people embrace leaning into your business?
Yeah, probably the biggest one, the easiest win is usually weight loss and body composition. You get 40, 50 years old, and losing weight is a lot more challenging, and trimming down or even just putting on muscle mass. And so those are the things. What we really try to focus on the most is creating a biological age kind of target versus chronological age. And so we've been able to get, I think there's a bunch of cases. One in particular, I think this individual is 69, and they're measuring it like a 30 plus year old,
Wow.
like mid 30s. And so that's really exciting when you can, you see it body composition wise, and like you just see more life in their face and their energy levels. But then when you can actually objectively look at labs and say, oh man, like you've reversed 20, 30 years off your chronological age, is awesome.
Yeah. It's wild because we can definitely see the opposite of that sometimes. It's like we see people, then you're like, man, I know they're only 25 or 30, but they look 40, 50, right? And their body's hurting. And it's not just vanity to want to take care of your health and be fit, because, sadly, I've lost a lot of friends over these past 4 or 5 years that were gone way too young, way too early, because they weren't taking their health seriously, and their body age was way out of whack with their chronological age. So I have a lot of gratitude for the work you guys are doing, because I think it's so important. As you got started, making that shift and starting working with your brother, starting to build first the location down there in St. George, and then growing to be even online and other things, what was one of the first major challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome it?
And one of the first challenges. So I would say one of the biggest learning experiences was in it was 2018. We got proposed, like a private equity group came and kind of said, "Hey, we'll help you grow," and we got really seduced by that. And so that was exciting because, we had, at the time, I think we had five different brick and mortars between, St. George up to northern Utah. And then we had a New Mexico location, and, things were going good, and we wanted to expand and just, grow our reach and be able to help more and more people. And so bringing them in, it was like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. And what we soon realized is we did not do enough due diligence on them, and just kind of went into it blind. It wasn't like we were like looking for this to happen or looking for money. It was more, hey, we can partner with these guys and they'll help us grow. We gave up 51% ownership, which was probably the biggest mistake. And then second of all, we took, what they were telling us as truth rather than what was in writing in truth. And so the spirit of the deal was supposed to be one way, but the contracts are pretty dry. But the spirit really changed once they started seeing, oh, there's other insurance billable codes that you guys can get into. And we didn't work with insurance companies then, and we don't now either, but they definitely tried to put a square peg into a round hole.
So obviously what it sounds like what that did was really change the spirit of your company, that the spirit of that, or the letter of that deal started changing the spirit of what you guys wanted to accomplish. How did you work your way out of that?
It was a fun experience. We realized about 60 to 90 days in, like, okay, this is going a different direction than we thought. And tried to get out then. They tried to, please us in different ways and say, well, we'll do this and do that. And pretty soon, we realized about a year in, like, okay, it's not going to get any better. So we started trying to figure out how to unwind it. And they weren't really willing to do that. It took us breaching our non-compete to get them to actually take us seriously.
Got it.
So, yeah. And essentially they took 4 of the locations. We kept 1. And, but what's really cool about that story is the next month, we did more revenue than we did in all 5 combined.
See, and that's wild because so many times people will get caught up in that they have to lose something and they won't move forward because, well, we're losing 4 locations, where what you really gained was autonomy over 1, right? And freedom to run 1 well.
So true.
And those type of hard decisions where you have to let go of some things in order to fully take hold of another, I think it's such a powerful lesson for business owners to hear.
Yeah.
And then what continued, as you did that and you started taking that control, how did the next year or 2 go? Like what happened in business as you continued to do that?
So we've 2 to 3x year over year the past 4 years. Like we've just had significant growth.
And is brick and mortar still a big part of your business strategy, or are you more online now?
We do have a strategy in brick and mortar, but our online and virtual presence is definitely our number one focus. And we bring a lot of clients will come into our Salt Lake facility, and we do some really cool events as well as just different procedures at that facility. And then we've started doing a few. We have a place in New Jersey that we've done a few events, and we can do procedures out of there. And so our goal would be is like we have five or six brick and mortars around the nation where we can service a lot of our clients that are in some of these different areas.
So larger hubs rather than like smaller locations.
Yeah.
And then cool. And so with what you guys are doing with Ageless Future, you kind of have a clarify, diagnose, predict, rejuvenate. You got all the, you've got all the marketing and angles, but like what is, and when you came on the show, you mentioned peptide, stem cells, regenerative, right? There's a lot in that encompasses so many things, right?
Yeah.
So what would you recommend if somebody is hearing this or they just heard about this type of approach to health? What would you recommend? What's their first step?
First step is, what we do is we will typically do a health span assessment and kind of figure out what your health goals are. So I think for that individual, just understanding like what do you want your health to look like in 3 years, in 10 years? How do you want to age? And, maybe how's your performance currently, and where would you like it to be? Would you like better memory, more energy, sleep through the night soundly and not be stressing about, everything going on in your business. So if those are some things that you'd like to work on, from there is get some diagnostics. Like that's typically our first step. And if you don't have, I would imagine a lot of your listeners have some pretty good habits dialed in around health. But I'm sure there's plenty of you out there listening that probably don't have good habits. So we have kind of 6 essentials that we train on, but it's, at least get some, like start doing some things to push your health forward. Move, exercise, get the right hydration, get the right sleep. Like those are like foundational.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So when you start with diagnostics and just see where you are now, and you're comparing that to where you wish you were or where you want to be.
Yeah.
Obviously we know, this is new. Actually, I heard recently that this was the first year that America actually did not increase in obesity rates. And a lot of people claim that was because of the rise of GLP-1s. And so you take the criticism all you want, like that is a major trend that has needed to shift for a long time.
So much.
all the world making fun of America for being fat. Now they just sing the Ozempic song. So, but with what you guys are working on, what excites you? What really lights you guys up?
Oh man, what's really exciting is being able to like go to different events and different groups and just see our clients thriving. We have some of the coolest clients, because most our clients are entrepreneurs and business owners. We see that, entrepreneurs, we go hard, and sometimes we put our health on the sidelines so that we can, really pour it into the business. And we see that as a huge opportunity to really elevate, that entrepreneurial experience. If you don't have your health at the end of the day, like it's rough, and it makes it a lot less fulfilling. And so just seeing our clients thrive is so exciting.
That's huge. That's cool. What one of the first times I ever heard about stem cells was at a college biology symposium in 1996. So it was a long time ago, but I remember it because it seemed so fascinating that we had this amazing thing that we could do to, reverse aging or fix major problems. What are some of the big things you guys use stem cells for today?
Yeah. So just for the listeners, I'll kind of explain how, like what types, because there's a few different types of stem cells out there. There's you can get it from adipose. A lot of people have heard of PRP. Some providers will say that's, a form of stem cells. It's more regenerative medicine. There's not like live active cells there, but there is this healing that can happen. You can also get it externally, which we utilize umbilical cord tissue. And so there is, it comes from pretty rigorous pre-screening process. It comes from scheduled C-section. So the baby's born, no harm's done to the baby. And then what's typically, discarded, that birth tissue just created life. And so there's just vast amount of stem cells in that area. And then our body, how it's designed to heal is through stem cells. You get trauma, you get an injury, your body's response and inflammatory process is actually attracting stem cells so that your body can go in there and recover and repair the damaged tissue. And so, essentially, a lot of the clients that we work with on stem cells have pain, like joint pain, knees. They're trying to avoid a surgery, like shoulders. That's essentially, that's exactly how we got into stem cells. It's been probably 10 or so years ago. No, like 15 years ago. Reagan was snowboarding. That's my brother. And he was cruising down the mountain. He had a choice. He could hit a ski or hit a tree. He loves trees, so he got that skier.
Typical snowboarder.
Yep. He destroyed his shoulder in the process, though. Rotator cuff tear, and it went on for about 6 months, just debilitating pain. He was about to have surgery, and he was doing some research and found a facility that was doing some stem cells, and he invested a ton of money, went down, tried it out, and it was a game changer for him. And so from there, he started getting some training and working in that space, and now trained, we've trained probably thousands of medical providers on different protocols and procedures in regenerative medicine. So from a pain perspective, it can be a game changer. We've also developed a brain treatment that goes intranasal. It's a fairly non-invasive. It's a spray. Just feels like you like getting a little like a flu swab almost. It's a little uncomfortable, but seeing amazing things from like neuroinflammation. Improve better cognitive function, performance. There's some amazing applications when it comes to stem cells and regenerative medicine.
It seems like a lot of times high achievers, like top business, top entrepreneurs and Hollywood celebrities are always quick to adapt this kind of stuff. And it almost creates a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe even a conspiracy theory or like some negative stuff about it. I remember there used to be way more negative conversation around stem cells. I hear way less now. What are some of the what's some pushback that you guys get in just the type of work you do?
It's not mainstream, at least which is mind-boggling to me. In today's day and age, it's still like our type of medicine isn't quite mainstream. It's getting a lot more popular, but like biggest pushback, you got insurance doesn't cover it. Stem cells is actually, in the state of Utah, we were the first state to legalize stem cell therapy. Between like 2018 to 2020, in 2020, they made a ruling and kind of like banned anything close to it. But there's a few little loopholes, but in last year, May of 2024, Utah created a law like protecting providers that as long as, it's not FDA approved and it's, we're not treating or curing any disease or condition, you can try it out. And so now there's been a few other states that have followed. I think Florida just followed suit, and I think you'll see a lot more. So it's, that's where, FDA is definitely still kind of not the best friend there. Which, when are they? When you're going against the mainstream, but
not known for being progressive.
That is for sure.
It's fascinating. Utah is like, of course, they're going to be pro entrepreneur while still being kind of conservative, right? It's a very fascinating balance there. With you guys are doing, amazing things. And if please, if you're watching or listening to this, go to agelessfuture.com. Just look at some of their testimonials and you'll get some really good idea of what's happening and what they're doing. You lost a ton of weight a while ago. Now you're running this company with your brother. You're doing all this stuff. Like, what's the one part of your health stack that you feel is most important to you?
Oh man. So I would say it's hard to say there's one. But because I think exercise is so key. Like if I can wake up in the morning, get a good workout in,
it's usually the shake weight, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite. Just get a good shake weight. Oh my gosh. Really, getting some high resistance training, get some weights and, mixing it like a HIIT workout. My wife teaches hot Pilates. So that's actually this morning, got a killer Pilates workout, but that's like the foundational piece. And then what I found is there's a few peptides that can help me recover, just the growth hormone releasing peptides. Tesmorelin, ipamorelin is probably my favorite stack. And then, most people have heard of BPC 157 and thymosin beta 4.
Everyone knows those.
If you want to like never be sore and you can work out super hard, thymosin beta 4 is amazing. So those are probably like some of my favorite. Like
those are cool. I've never heard of those in my life, but I'm excited to check them out. I know that I've got some stuff I need to do with you guys. So I'm excited to do that. And I hope everyone checks out agelessfuture.com. But Cade, business is just business, man. I know you love to play. What's one item in your personal bucket list you're going to accomplish in the next 12 months?
Next 12 months. So I'm in the middle of building a house. So we'll get that checked off. So that's been a fun project.
Is that going to be in the next 12 months?
Yeah. We should be done by December.
What was the original target?
It's always been before Christmas.
All right. So we're still on target for now.
We're still on track there.
That's good. That's awesome. I'm very much looking forward to the open house, the welcoming party.
You better be there.
Yeah, and but I love it, man. I know you're doing all the good things of being active, busy, involved dad and husband and stuff. That's really cool. And that to me was something that was always really important to me, is when I was raising my kids, I wanted to be able to be young and vibrant and actually active with them. And so I love that you're helping people kind of reverse the signs of aging and the crappy lives they've lived for a while to be able to be younger and healthier. It's cool stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. So everyone go check out agelessfuture.com. And to all my biz ninjas, wherever you're listening, watching, or tuning in, it's your turn to go out and do something.